Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Moletrap, and I'm here with Cholera and Rise once again. Rise once again! And we're going to be doing the second game of the Group D of ClubDay MSL. And this is going to be very, very fun to watch Bisu completely own the stuffing out of Backho, are the two players that are playing right now. Backho got a little bit famous recently for getting into some round of 8s. I think he even beat Stork at one point, but then after, I don't know, he must have been eating super Wheaties for a few weeks or something like that and changed his diet because then he went back to sucking. So, not expecting too much out of him here, but, you know, I've been surprised before.
Yeah, maybe a little too much fiber in that cereal, but, I mean, other than that, Bisu is a really good player all around. He's been doing great again recently. I've been following his games, kind of seeing if he's going to get back into it, and I really think that he's kind of starting to get back into the swing of things. He's not quite the powerhouse that he was of a couple years ago, but he's definitely got some serious play coming their way. And I am very excited to watch this match. By the way, I didn't thank you, Moletrap, for the great introductions you've been giving to me. I wanted to say thanks. I now know I have at least one fan.
Heck yeah, man.
You got a lot of fans. Everyone loves Rise. Rise is, by the way, from Brooklyn. He's in Worcester right now. That's right. You have to be in Massachusetts to know that it's pronounced Worcester. But instead of whatever it's supposed to be pronounced as, based on spelling. But anyway, by the way, Backho is the player at the 9 o'clock in yellow, and we have here Bisu in red at the 1 o'clock locations. I do expect fairly standard builds from both players. What is up with this?
Meow! Meow!
What are up with these bizarre, like, pictures of Backho? There's one where Backho is a woman, by the way. It is some like, weird androgynous Backho in a previous portrait. And this one looks pretty androgynous, and he's a cat in this one.
Well, you haven't heard?
Backho fans. What is wrong with Backho fans?
Haven't you heard he of his transgender past?
I must have missed that memo.
I hope you're kidding, but yeah. What is up with? See, this is the thing. When people are fans of weird, bad players like Backho and Rock, you have to question their sanity. I mean, Rock fans, same thing. You know, who's gonna be a fan of the Rock unless they're pretty effed up to begin with? But anyway. Backho getting his gas. Looks like he's going to be going for a standard opening here. That was his own pylon, I hope. Yeah, that was his own pylon there. And probably going to go for that core right now. Scouting in the wrong direction. And both players opening pretty standard. Looks like both are actually getting gas before core, significantly before core, actually. That actually could be... I can't tell whose pylon that is. That actually looks like it is Backho's. Anyway, so pretty standard opening here from both players. I was going to say before we saw that disturbing picture that I don't expect any kind of fast expand or anything because this map is pretty good for Reavers. So I do expect that for coming up.
Yeah, I thought it was... hopefully they'll show it again here in a second, but I thought it was Bisu's pylon because I didn't think Backho's probe... Yeah, it was Bisu's pylon because Backho's probe wasn't there at that moment, so... Very good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got the colors mixed up. I was going to say it was the person whose base was at the 1 o'clock, which is Bisu. Sorry.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, good anti-mana pylons there by Bisu. Bisu finally scouting Backho's base, so they're both pretty standard play. I've said this before. A lot of people don't like Protoss versus Protoss because it ends up being pretty mirror a lot of the time. But I actually really like Protoss versus Protoss because it comes down to such skill, and so when the battles actually happen, you know, it's such a close thing that you can actually see, you know, one player's skill actually overcoming the other player's skill, and so I don't know, I find that kind of interesting. So it is a little bit less interesting to have these mirrors going on. Oh my gosh, Backho sneaking his probe through the minerals to get away from the Zealots hardcore, but then just getting completely slaughtered by the Dragoons. So not so very hardcore move there, almost on accident probably, and then having it go to nothing. And now that probe is gone, Bisu finally putting up his tech. So Backho's not going to know. Neither player actually are going to know what the other player is doing for their tech going into the mid game here. So that's going to make it a little bit more interesting too. That both players are going to have to try to figure out what the other player is doing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Bisu go with observers first. He back in his day, he was very safe player, usually going for observers just to be safe first off, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go for that as well, since he can't really get a scout in on Backho right now.
Yeah, I wanted to mention, I kind of feel like the PvP game in general has kind of evolved a little. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I've been finding that the more and more PvPs I watch, the less and less quicker and slower they expand. It's amazing that they do so much more with so less minerals these days. Because, I guess it's because of how even mirror matches are, and players like of their caliber are able to take advantage of any slight imperfection of a build. But I just feel like PvP in general, it's just evolved beyond what it was a long time ago. And Bisu getting his observatory down, he's definitely big on scouting, as I think most people watching this may know. He's big on getting an early scout with his probes, and he's always getting his observatory first. So he's got the most information that he can possibly use at any given time. And robotics support bay now going down, so he is going to go reavers. Although I think we all expected that, seeing the facility. It looks like Backho is a lot slower in his robotics facility, though, because, I mean, Bisu has already got both his observatory and his robotics facility support bay down. I don't know if that'll play into effect because they are kind of cross-map positions, but Shuttle already out for Bisu, so he's way ahead now. I should mention that too. I think that this may come into play actually, and we're going to have to see if Bisu decides to go for a economy harass, or what I've been seeing more recently in PvP matches is straight up just going down the front door with reavers in a shuttle, and it's been coming down to a lot of quality reaver micro. Especially if you've been watching like Stork's, I can't speak at all right now. Stork's PvP matches, he's been doing that a lot, as well as in his recent matches with Bisu. Although I won't spoil those matches at all for you guys, but I do think that the game is changing. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think definitely as Reaver Micro gets better and better, I think the chance of seeing fast expands goes down much less because it's just so much more dangerous to do it. And you're right, the pushes have generally been for frontal pushes with the first Reaver coming out. I do expect Bisu to be doing that right now. Both players at 3 gateways. No, actually, only Bisu's at 3 gateways. Bisu is definitely playing for an aggressive attack here. He's going to be a little bit slower on the resources. Backho might be able to save up for an expansion at some point if Bisu doesn't manage to succeed here with his first Reaver harass. Looks like Bisu actually is probably going to wait for that second Reaver to come out, and then he's going to do as strong of a push as possible. He's already got an observer inside of Backho's base, so he has a good idea what's going on. Backho with a slightly superior forces, I think, right now, but it's going to be even out very soon by the extra gateway here that Bisu has. I think he's waiting. Yeah, there's a second Reaver. So Bisu now going to be going for a strong frontal push, and I think that is the best idea here. We'll have to see how good his micro is, and I assume it's almost on the level of Stork. Stork, of course, I think has the best Reaver micro around. Even next to Best, I think Stork still has the best. Best is better at some other things, but anyways, Bisu's is not poor either. And here we go. This is going to be the frontal push, and
I'm not sure if you guys can.
We're going to see
right
if
now.
Backho chokes up here and messes up his micro, and then he's going to lose the game. Moletrap.
Sorry, I got a little bit of lag there. I don't know what's up with my internet today, but yeah, this is going to come down. This is kind of what I was talking about as far as you get to see the pure micro skills in the players, because they've got about even troops. Bisu has a little bit of an advantage, I think, here, but it's going to come down to just sheer Reaver micro, basically, and also the microing of their troops during this next big battle, which is probably going to decide things. Oh no, Backho's going out. Backho's moving out. He doesn't know he's going to try and engage Bisu's army in the open field, actually. And Reaver's being dropped out there. Bisu trying to save his Reavers. One of the Reavers being targeted. Looks like he is going to pick it up and get it back behind the lines, though. Nice scarabs by both players. Both players protecting their... Oh, both Reavers go down for Backho! Both of Backho's... No, I'm sorry, never mind. One of them went down. It looked like both of them went down, but one of them got picked up. So I apologize for going crazy there. Huge, intense battle going on here. It looks like Bisu's microing a little bit better with his Reavers and taking down a little bit more of Backho's Dragoons. And Backho forced to fall back here. Wow, that was intense. That was intense. It looked like one of the Scarabs of Bisu, Backho did not pick up his Reaver just quite in time, and one of the Scarabs landed and killed one of his Reavers, and that ended up making just a slight enough difference that Bisu came out with a couple extra Dragoons at the end of that battle, and that is, that's exactly the kind of advantage that you can use to gain a better advantage in the next battle and press home the advantage. It's going to be up to Backho to micro a little bit better to come back and take a little bit more advantage in the next battle, basically.
선택은 좋았고요. 리버가 두 기가 있다라는 점을 철저하게 지금 이용해서 상대방의 드라군을 더 잡아먹지 못하면은 처음 전투.
All right, I may have lost Rise and Cholera, so let's.
견제 들어가야죠. 견제 들어가면서 한번 흔들어 주고 빈틈을 만들어내야 돼요, 김태균 선수는. 텅텅 비었는데요.
Moving back here.
Yeah, Moletrap. I'm just seeing right now a great Reaver drop coming from Bisu there, killing off a lot of probes. Are you still around?
Yes, I am. Sorry about that. I had to reconnect to the Ventrilo server that we're using to record, so very high quality stuff, folks. Sorry about that, though. I didn't see it. Did the Reaver go off?
State of the art. Yeah, the Reaver actually just dropped a huge Scarab in the back of the base of Backho, taking out plenty of probes. Backho reacting pretty much at the last second and saved a bunch of them, but really the Scarab was already on its way and done its damage. Looks like Bisu's actually going for a fourth gateway now, and at this point I think he's just got Backho completely out-macroed. Backho's got 4 gateways himself, but he's just behind in units. The superior Reaver micro of Bisu, as we expected, is definitely taking its toll, and Backho getting a couple of free shots off with his Reavers, but oh, it looks like he may get another shot on Bisu's Reaver, and oh, that Reaver almost goes down, but no, it only takes 1 Scarab after all, and Bisu, for some reason, not paying attention to his Reavers, and oh, let the Reavers of Backho go down, and now Backho in a lot of trouble here, going against Dragoons and Reavers with no Reavers of his own, and those Dragoons trying to focus fire, but too little Dragoons getting too many hits from Bisu's Dragoons, and this battle is going to go to Bisu. If he can push his advantage home, this is going to be his game for the taking. And I think he does have it, having the Reaver advantage now against Backho.
Yeah, Bisu now with 1 extra Reaver, and he's already gotten his expansion up. I wasn't sure if that was up or not in the minimap because it's kind of hard to see, but he does have an expansion. Backho, of course, does not have an expansion. I can tell that for sure because he's yellow. And if the longer Bisu stays with this, of course, the more an advantage he has. All he has to do is defend successfully here. Backho is unable to... Oh, wow, and Backho realizing that Bisu has expanded and wasn't able to do more damage. ZZ Yo's, his classic way of losing a game, which he's been doing a lot recently, unfortunately, is to say ZZ Yo. And Bisu...
That's why the girls love him.
Here. That's right. Or rather, that's why the girls think he's also a girl and a cat. Anyway, Backho will now be facing Much in the loser's game, and Firebathero will be facing Bisu in the winner's game.
That was pretty ridiculous there. So, wow, that was amazing. And there's even kind of an example of what we were talking about before, as far as the refinement of the game, about how you can't really expand without paying for it with a tech push. And so Bisu, by taking that early advantage, was able to secure the time and minerals for him to expand, and Backho was not, and Backho knew that he just had too much of a disadvantage there at the end. So, GG. Any last thoughts, guys, or let's move on to the winner's match?
GG!
GG.